Tell us a little bit more about what are your reservations on Coinbase?
I mean, there's several, right? First, it all kind of goes back to the same question, which is there anything of value created by these protocols? If the answer is no, then what is Coinbase's business? Their business is allowing people or assisting people in speculating in worthless tokens, essentially is what they're doing. Approximately half of their business, obviously it fluctuates, but approximately half of their trading volume is Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then the rest of it is others. And a lot of those are really, really, really scammy projects that any reputable or reasonable person would not want to be sending to normal individuals to invest in these things because they know they're going to lose their money. Coinbase's model was based largely on charging very, very high fees to individual investors. And then obviously institutional investors got a much better deal. The first thing is that their business model is unsustainable, right? So if crypto survives and if it becomes something that lasts forever and is a good industry, Coinbase's fees are not sustainable and they would be outcompeted by other entities entering the market. That's the first problem with Coinbase. Even if they're right and the industry is a good investment, they won't be able to do what they've been doing in the last couple of years. Second, obviously they face some significant regulatory problems with the recent moves by the SEC. And I don't know what happens with that. I'm not a securities lawyer, but it certainly seems like a decision in those cases against Coinbase would be an existential threat to significant portions of their business. Again, if half of their trading volumes are non-Bitcoin and Ethereum, assuming that those are still considered commodities, that's a significant portion of their volume that's at risk. Staking has become an increasingly big portion of their revenue, which staking models typically are essentially Ponzi schemes if you look at how they actually operate. Some combination of Ponzi and pyramid scheme. It depends on how you look at it, but they're not sustainable again. And those are apparently securities as well. So if Coinbase loses these things, they lose a very significant portion of their revenue. So that's the second problem. And I think the biggest problem for Coinbase actually has nothing to do with their business at all or any issue that they can control, which is that the biggest entities in crypto are frauds, right? I mean, Tether and Binance dominate the industry. So if anything happens to Tether or Binance that has a significant effect on crypto markets, Coinbase will suffer as a consequence, even if they were perfectly legitimate and doing everything right, which they aren't, but even if they were, they would still be at significant risk. Right. And then something else to consider, too, is that they've been increasingly dependent on interest income from the USDC stablecoin because they have a partnership with the issuer called Circle. And that actually, after the collapse of Silicon Valley and USDC temporarily depegged because it turned out they had $3 billion in uninsured deposits sitting in that bank. Fortunately, the government bailed them out. So it's funny that crypto hasn't said thank you for that. After that depeg, market cap has continued to drop and it's down to like mid 30 billions. It's dropped like $7 or $8 billion in the last couple of weeks. And that's a significant portion of their income that's being drained out slowly. If USDC goes down, then they lose that revenue as well. So they've got a lot of risk facing them. And I don't see a lot of upside in terms of even if things go well, they would be outcompeted of the market.